Right, so you've made the decision that you want to come visit South Africa. Whether that's from me or what I'm doing or what other people are doing or whatever the case may be. And there's a few things that you need to first do, that you first need to prep from your side. And one of the first things you're going to do is you need a visa. There's a few countries, especially in Europe, that you don't need visas for when you come and visit South Africa. I think Europe and the US is fine, but there's a lot of places that you definitely do need a visa for. So your visa application, of course, will depend on what country you're from. But also remember, you are dealing with South Africa, and anything that relates to forms or stuff that you submit takes quite a while to get here. So I've been told it takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months in some places to get a South African visa, and I think that's about accurate. Some places are a little bit longer, some places are a little bit shorter. But you want to get that visa application. Now, what a visa is, it's basically like a little permit that says, hey, you are allowed to come into the country. There's a certain surety that you have to sign or acknowledge when you come into a country. Like you have to state that, hey, I'm coming to visit, but I'm not going to just come in via the airport and never leave. I'm not going to try and become an illegal tourist in your country. And that's quite important in any country that you go to. Right, so you're getting your visa, you're on the waiting list for the visa, you've already booked a date, more or less. You made sure that it's a good 3-4 months after your actual application is going to, visa application should clear. Because you never want to do it too close together, because then you're going to fly over. And your flight date might be before you get a visa, and then you can't leave. And that sucks. Just take my word for it. That sucks. You'll get on the plane and they'll turn you back once you get there after police interrogated you and stuff like that. It ain't great. The next thing you want to do is you want to go to your GP. And there's several things that you want to do. And this also depends on where you want to visit in South Africa. So, you want to come and visit like me in KZN. That's normally fairly safe. There's very little malaria in South Africa, but I highly recommend that you get a tetanus shot at least, and also a rabies shot. There's other shots that your doctor will recommend. That's fairly normal. The chances that you'll actually, if you don't get those, contract anything is next to zero, but it'll suck if your vacation is destroyed because you might have contracted something. So it's always better to be sure, go visit the doctor, see what the doctor recommends in terms of vaccinations and that sort of stuff. If you're going to a place that has malaria, malaria does exist in South Africa, in Limpopo, for instance, or like further north in South Africa, there's a little bit of malaria. So he's going to recommend a malaria tablet, and a malaria tablet is something that you need to start taking before you come and visit. You can't go, hey, okay, I'm only flying in December. I'll only start taking my malaria tablets in December. Normally, it's a good 4 to 6 weeks beforehand you start taking it, so that your body gets used to it and it actually starts working the way it's supposed to. Cool. So you've got your doctor stuff, you've got all of that. You're ready to actually come and visit. So you start taking out your tourist books and you start to try and figure out why you're visiting South Africa. What do you want to go see? Now, South Africa is divided into multiple provinces. So think about it as like what you get the states in the USA, whereby we have one main government and everything runs through that. But we've got provinces like we've got Gauteng, we've got KwaZulu-Natal, we've got Eastern Cape, we've got Western Cape, we've got Limpopo. So all of those are heavily different. Oh, RXN Gaming, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it, bud. You're awesome. And I hope you enjoy like talking videos, because this is going to start off with a lot of talking. Okay, so you want to go see where to visit. So you probably go to a place like this, a nice little bookshop, and you pick up a few books and you start reading. But really, I'm going to try and break it down for you in a bit more simpler terms. So a lot of people think that if you come to South Africa, the main thing that you're going to do here is you're basically going to go on safaris, and go see a whole bunch of game, and that's about the only thing that people do in South Africa, right? Is we just go on safari and we go look at wild animals, that sort of stuff. Maybe go to the bush and go camp out for a little bit or something like that. Well, that's only one of the provinces. If you go to Limpopo, that's basically what you get in Limpopo. That is where the Kruger National Park is, for instance. And we have so much more in the other provinces that you guys can come and check out. So, for instance, Gauteng is that's our main province. That's I can't remember what the English term is for it, but that's basically where like everything is supposed to happen. Everything goes through there. It used to be like it used to be all the gold mining happened. I think there was some diamond mining there as well, and a few other things. But basically, Gauteng is our capital. You can go, you can start there. So that's our biggest airport is our Tambo. And probably you're going to go through there and you're going to go to, and you're going to stop in Gauteng at least for a little bit while you go to other places. Now in Gauteng, there is tons of heritage and history. I'm going to sit down. Let's sit down because let's sit down somewhere where there's a lot of nice things for you guys to see. Yeah, this'll do. This'll do nicely. There we go. Yeah, we're at the airport. We're getting ready to fly. Okay. So you're like in Gauteng, okay, and you're looking for stuff to do. So Gauteng is basically filled with a lot of our history. So it depends on what area you want to go to. I would highly recommend Nelson Mandela's house and his legacy there. You can read up and hear all about apartheid. You can basically walk the streets that he's walked. You can experience life and history that we went through and how we went from a very bad government, which was pro-apartheid, to a very good government that's open and free and everyone gained the same rights and all of that amazing stuff. So I would definitely check out some of those heritage sites. But what's off the radar as well is things like the Voortrekker Monument. Now, what is the Voortrekkers? So when South Africa got colonized by the Dutch, and it was quite a few decades later, and then the English sort of started a war with us because they wanted the land back. They heard that we've got diamonds and we've got gold. I just want to check that none of these marks are making its way on the actual stream. Sorry, guys. No, it's only my camera that's freaking out, which is good. I don't mind my camera freaking out. Okay, so they heard that all of this sort of stuff is going down. So they wanted to come and invade us. So they came to the Western Cape back then and they started to invade us. There was a war. They pushed all of the Boers out and the Boers had to settle somewhere else. So they moved slowly. And it was, have you ever played, what's that game? That you basically get the oxes and you have to resettle from A to B. So there's ox wagons and all of that, and slowly but surely they made their way across Africa and eventually Gauteng. And that's the Voortrekker Monument. The monument was built for them. There was also a Zulu war and a whole bunch of other stuff that I'm not going to get into quite yet because that's a bit more dubious and stuff, but rather think of it as a monument that was built to the ingenuity of the Afrikaans people to move from A to B after wars happened. And by the way, the first Boer War, we won. We won the English. It was only the second one that they actually, came back full force and devastated us, but we're not going to get into that, unfortunately. Not on this stream. It's just way too much history. So anyway, there's the Voortrekker Monument. It's this beautiful, big building monument and tons of amazing art and everything like that. Now, I get what you guys are saying. Chip, the downside of the internet being lousy yet again last week, 8+ hours rain in under 24. Oh, dude, 8+ inches of rain in under 24 hours. That's That's terrible, man. Yeah, it's when it rains, it pours, and unfortunately, we get some of that too here. But I don't think we had 8+ inches in a very, very long time. That's hectic. So anyway, let's say you're not interested in all of this history and all of this culture. You just want to go in and have fun. So we've got a place called Gold Reef City. Gold Reef City used to be a gold mine, but they converted into a theme park. So the whole theme park is like mining inspired. There's tons of amazing roller coasters. There's like your classics, like you always get these, you always get like the logs rides. It goes and then dives into water and stuff like that. It's just amazing. You can spend like a day there just like hanging out and like going through all of the rides and stuff. But what's very nice about it is it still has quite a bit of the active mine open to the public, and they give tours. So you can go on this tour and they'll take you deep down the gold mine, and you can like see what it was like to mine back then, that's amazing. There's also quite a few train rides and stuff there. It's amazing. Wow, another 8 inches, dude. Normally, like I'm from KZN. Here, if it rains like that, it like floods the whole place and all the trees fall over and then no one can go to work, and it's a big problem for us. So just stay safe, Chip, please. It's hectic when it rains that much. So you get some modern amusements like that as well. This is all just one place. This is just Gauteng. This is just the capital. Food-wise, Gauteng is a mixing pot. It's a stewing pot of cultures. You can get every sort of cuisine that you can ever imagine. Okay, and I'm just going to use this to segue quickly into your cuisine. Understand something, when you go to any other sort of country, now most of you have probably left for another country, but for me, when I went to Switzerland, for instance, because the food is completely different and it's much more richer, you are probably going to develop the runs. It's not going to be bad. Bring whatever sort of medication works for you. Just bring a little bit of that with. Double check with the airline first if you're allowed to bring it over. If it's a prescription, all prescriptions are normally allowed as long as you've got your doctor's note with it. Okay, they don't have any problem normally with prescriptions. But just bring that with when you come over, and just be aware you are going to have the runs a little bit for the first day or two. Water is 100% clean. Gauteng is, I think we were rated in the top 5 countries in the world for cleanest water. Gauteng is amazing for water. But anyway. Fire! Welcome, bud. Welcome. I'm so glad to see some familiar faces, Always when I do these streams, I always get that little bit of panic of, it's not going to be the night that no one watches. And it's always such an amazing thing to see people come through and watch. So anyway, that's just Gauteng. Let's just say you're a foresty person. Like, I know that Woody watching you, most likely you sound like the sort of person that loves a log cabin in the woods. We've got Knysna. Now, Knysna is South Africa. It's artificial forest mostly, but it has a lot of natural forest mixed in there. It's this wide band of foresty area, and you can get lost in the woods. My grandmom and grandpa had a farm in Knysna at one stage, and some of my best childhood memories was just like disappearing in the woods for like 8 or 9 hours. And a few houses in my area had sewer water come up through the sewer lines. One house in particular had much of water wasting machines and dryers were literally floating. Oh, dude, the sewer drainage is the worst because it's a backflow. Man, that's hectic. I hope you guys are okay and you've got some insurance or something to help, or some good plumbers, because I would presume it first has to drain and then you have to pump it all back out somehow or something. I don't know how that works. So woodland and forest area, you can go down to Knysna. Knysna is fantastic. Some of the oldest trees in South Africa is in Knysna. Some of the most beautiful furniture you can get is in Knysna. South Africa still makes fantastic handcrafted furniture. It's normally out of oak if you really can afford it, but we've got quite a few indigenous wood species. One of them is actually called stincoat, smelly wood. It's a hardwood. It looks beautiful once you polish it, but just don't cut it. It does smell really bad if you cut it. So, There's two options already, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Let's say you like mountains. You can go visit the Drakensberg. The Drakensberg ranges all the way from KZN, where I am at. You know, you go past Pietermaritzburg, you go into Drakensberg. It goes all the way down to the Western Cape. Okay, yes, it's not your big mountains like what you would find in Canada or Switzerland, all those places. But it's awesome. You will love it. Especially if you go past KZN side to the Drakensberg, you get the very flat areas, and there's this lovely antique shops all over the place that you can go and visit, where they still sell all of our old sweets that we used to get as kids, and you can get tin plates. Yes, we love our tin plates, and a whole bunch of other stuff. See, we've got mountains. Next, okay, let's say you're just coming back and you want to relax. You had a terrible time at work. You had the worst 2 years, 3 years, no vacation, everything. You go to warm baths. We've got natural hot springs. You know what you see in Japan, like those hot baths where you sit and you go sit in the warm baths and you take a bath and all of that. But not just that. Squaws, welcome, dude. I hope you enjoy yourself. It's good to see you, Squaws. Guys, by the way, Squaws is an awesome streamer as well. You guys should check him out. Send him a follow, and then when he comes online, just like go say hello. He's like an amazing dude. Amazing dude. So, we've got warm box. We've actually got hot springs, like what they've got in Japan. We've got that. But not just that, like 20 minutes drive from there, you get all the waterfalls. There's like 20, 30, 40 waterfalls in those areas. A lot of them still haven't been discovered. So you can hire like a little local tour guide, and he'll take you past all of these little secluded waterfalls that you can get to. Some of them are deep enough that you can actually dive from the top of it off into the waterfall, and it's absolutely breathtaking. If you want good photos, that's a place to be. So, we've got hot springs, we've got waterfalls, we've got culture, we've got everything. But let's just say, like, none of that is your cup of tea. You just want to go drinking. You go down to the Western Cape and go down the wine route. Now, the wine route is this long, narrow highway. Okay, and down that highway, thank you, Squaws, for those. I really appreciate it, but it always helps, hosting is something I really like, and I love to do to other people as well. And I found, not to say, Squaws, I think you're my auto-host, because it does help a channel, But anyway, you get this long, narrow highway, and you can, rent a bus trip. And what they'll do is they'll take you to the top, okay, and it's called the wine route. And you'll stop at different farms all the way down, each time stopping, drinking different wines. But not just wines, we also have something called Mapur, which is like our spirit. Mapur hits you hard. It's some of the hardest liquor you can possibly get. But please don't buy Mapur at a cheap farm store. Buy it at a restaurant or somewhere safe, okay? Okay, guys, I don't want any of you going blind. That'll suck. If any of you go blind, that'll suck a lot. So yeah, we've got wines, we've got Mapur. So like anything you can imagine, like any sort of type of holiday you guys enjoy, you can come see in South Africa, And what's nice is the Rand-dollar exchange and the Rand-pound exchange, hell, even the Rand-yen exchange is amazing. Our currency is undervalued, okay, and that's a fact. You can read it up. It's actually a term in economics. That means that what you get for your dollar is more than what just the conversion rate is. For instance, our restaurants are dirt cheap. Accommodation, dirt cheap. Accommodation here, like 5-star restaurant or 5-star accommodation at a nice, it's not even a hotel. You can do like Airbnb or guest house or something like that. It's going to cost you about 2,000 Rand a month, depending on how many people sleep there. But normally for like a 3 to 4 people, it's like $2,000 a day. Sorry, not a month, which is, I'll say it's like $100. No, it sounds like a lot, but remember, if you've got 4 people, you divide that by 4, it's $25 a shot. It's nothing. But yeah, let's go explore this world quickly. So that's like all the things that you can do here. And boy, oh boy, I didn't even cover like the start There's so much more that's available that you guys can do when you come visit. For instance, you can hang out with me. So let's first go and check this place out, and then we'll go to another airport, because there's another airport listed, and then we'll continue chatting. I've chatted now for a good 20 minutes or so, but I can go for an hour. Okay, so we've got magazines here. I'm not going to talk about that. So this is normally what like a very small airport will look like. Lanseria more or less looks like this, where I don't know if any of you haven't gone flying yet. I presume like a majority have. So you always have like your little security area. You've got your seating area at the bottom where you wait for your flight to get called up. The one thing that you will notice here that you will not notice in any other airport since 2011 is baggage without people next to it. If you ever see that, please call security immediately. Do not sit next to it. Do not leave your baggage unattended. That's for a valid reason. So you've got some seating. Of course, you've got the cafeteria. So they'll call you up, or you'll do your check-in here before you get called up. So I presume this will be like pre-checking boarding. They check to make sure. Normally you stand in the queue here, and the guy's like, "Oh, do you have anything sharp in your luggage?" And you're like, "No." "Do you have any metal on your person?" And then you'll go and you'll have to like take out your keys, take off your glasses, put like everything down, and normally you'll walk through the thing and it'll still beep, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, I've got a belt on." You take your belt off, you put the belt in, you walk down, and it's like finally okay. And the guy just gives you that stink eye of, dude, your belt, seriously? You forgot to take off your belt? How dare you? My day's ruined. That's normal. Hey, this place looks interesting. Might make it as my own. Lol. If you like airports, I mean, it's a nice airport. It's just a very small airport. I was hoping to get like an international terminal of some sort. So normally now you've got you normally get your little bit of lunch, because you have to be like an hour early. You sit there, you wait, you watch that little thing there in hopes that your flight doesn't get delayed, because you always have to watch it like all, because there's hardly ever anyone like physically at the thing until it's like 5 minutes before boarding or another flight's boarding. So you finally give them the tickets, you go through. Oh, it doesn't have the nice long actual walkway. Hey guys, how you doing? Okay, well let's wait for... Let's wait for that fax to come through. I just saw the first line. Hey, how you doing, fax? Glad you enjoyed my Synth Riders stream. Yes, I did actually, because Synth Riders is something I don't see a lot of, and it's a game I want to get into, because I've got the little brain thing that I don't have very good hand-eye coordination. My hand-eye coordination doesn't work like a normal person's, so I'm constantly looking for things that I can like try to improve. Like I tried Beat Saber, but I can't go past normal because it just goes too fast, and yeah, memorizing the patterns sort of defeats the purpose of improving my hand-eye coordination. So with Synth Riders, it's like you've got the orbs and you have to smash the orbs in a certain way and then haul into the rails, right? That looks a bit more doable. If you ever want me to join, just let me know. Vadiori. Okay, thanks, Fire. Unfortunately, I'm not joining quite yet, but after we had like all of our chats and things, we're going to do some games. You can then join. So you've got the seats here. So normally you'll go sit there and it'll always be like chicken or beef, chicken or beef. You can't make out which one it is, and there's always like one crying baby that you can't see because they went in first, and you know they're sitting somewhere there, and you're just like, dude, please just give the baby something. Oh, dude, Squaws, thank you. Yeah, I still need to get my recommended feed sorted out as well, Squaws. I need to add you. Thanks, bud. I really appreciate that. You know, every little bit helps, and what's nice is if we all help each other out, it actually, it's for the best of everyone, because everyone's channels grow and things. It's quite a lot of fun. It's quite workout. Yeah, that's what I saw. It's more workout than what Beat Saber is, because Beat Saber is more wristy thingies. So I want to give it a go. So yeah, this plane doesn't have like a cockpit or anything cool we can go to, does it? Does it even have the toilets that's always like someone has completely destroyed halfway through the trip? Nah. You can't even sit in the seats. Oh, no. Yes, there's a cockpit. No, you're not supposed to be in here though. I've never seen like. Uncle is a what's the name? Is a pilot. I can't become a pilot. My eyes and my memory thing and my all coordination thing. How do I get back out? I don't think I can. Okay, so that's there. You always have your check-in counters. Oh, you put your bags in, and normally you're just like, please don't slap my bag, please don't throw my bag, please do not throw my bag. Just like in your mind, you're preparing for it. And they always lift up your bag and they throw it on the conveyor belt. Dude, guys, whatever you want to play. I like Beat Saber too, because I like to, when I work, I put it on and I listen to the songs while I'm going through, because there's something nice about like the little clicking sounds that the sabers make while you're working that I really, really thoroughly enjoy. And you get the like viewport that do not take any pictures. Whatever you do not take any pictures of the viewport, out of the viewport. At least our airports like that. They don't like you taking pictures. Yeah, so let's go to another. Let's see, what other airports do we have?